Hello and welcome to a spontaneous live stream starting in Vienna when we're going to Innsbruck. It's going to be just a short flight yeah, it's going to be about one hour block time, and it's just to just fooling around basically, because I recently installed prepared completely new, and I changed my system, so I have a new rig, and that's why I wanna try all the stuff that I'm usually doing, because you know, when you install the flight simulator new, and when you have a new rig, you certainly wanna try things out, and so that's what I will do in this stream. So I already started the IRS alignment. I already loaded up the airplane. Batteries are on, APU is on, and just basically in the final stages of flight preparation. So we're going to request the boarding now. We have a QNH of 10:27 right now here in Vienna, so IRS alignment should be done in about a minute, and we're going to set the squawk code to standard. He wants me to close the front right door and aft right door. Okay, so catering is done. We can now begin the boarding process. So what we will do right now is we will start entering the flight plan for today. So this will be here. We'll go from Vienna to Innsbruck. It's beautiful weather for flying today, so we're going to do a weather update.
Morning.
I'm just going to call this flight OS 100.
Morning.
And cost index of 15, cruising flight level 270, and block fuel is 5.79. There we go. And we are going for a 340 or 34 departure, and as the first waypoint is going to be Sydney, it will be a Sydney 3D departure. From Sydney we will go to, let me take a look, UL 856, and to Baxi. Wonderful. And from there on we're going to go so 03 to Rattenberg. That's beautiful. So all we have to do is type in the approach, the arrival, and it's going to be, I don't know the weather in Innsbruck right now, so I'm going to check that on my desktop. It's yeah, it's 280 degrees wind direction with 02 knots, so it will be a pretty standard approach. Okay, now let me check the plan feature here. So this one's okay. Yeah, this one's not okay, so we're going to delete Salzburg out of here. And right there, Rattenberg, sorry. this one looks better here. Yeah, this one's okay. So performance page, we will have a transition altitude of 7,000. We will have a flap setting of 1 and a trim. According to my flight fuel planner, it's up 0.7, and that's it. So we are almost ready to go. So we're going to yeah, luggage is still loading, but we will prepare for pushback and departure. No de-ice and a straight pushback. Arc. Okay. Okay, so we are pretty much done here. We're ready to go. Boarding completed. This means we can close the doors. And we can operate the jetway.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay, ready for pushback.
Locking gear. Departure check completed. Live has been inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Okay, we have a good engine start on number 2. Okay, that's number 1. APU off. And we're pretty much ready for taxi.
Set parking brakes.
Okay, flaps 1. Flight control check. Full up, neutral, full down, full right, neutral, full left,
Unlocking gear.
neutral. Rudder. Full right,
Tow truck disconnected.
neutral,
Bypass been removed.
full left. Okay, flight control check completed. Spoilers armed. Takeoff configuration normal. Okay, we're pretty much ready for taxi, I guess. Taxi light on. Okay.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Guess I just ran over this guy. Sorry. But he's still alive, so. Okay. Taxing pretty fast here. Kevin is ready. But we still have some taxi ahead of us. Alright, so here we go. So in case you want to tell me something, or in case something's not right with the stream, be it sound, be it picture, just let me know in the chat. In case you have any questions concerning the flight simulator, concerning the add-ons I'm using, just write something in the chat and I will try to answer that. So concerning the flight simulator I have prepared, is my main flight simulator now. It's my new rig, and I have to admit I didn't install FSX yet, mainly because on my old rig I only used Prepared and I didn't use FSX anymore. So that's why I'm sticking with Prepare right now. I know that this is a little bit, I wouldn't say unconventional, but I think there are a lot of you guys out there that would say, oh, you're crazy, you cannot use PMDG add-ons with Prepared. But, you know, I'm pretty content right now. There are some very, very good add-ons that work flawlessly with Prepared. So, as you can see, the newest Aerosoft Airbus has its own Prepared installer, so no problems there. The Majestic Dash has no problem with Prepared, and I also recently bought the Quality Wings 757, which is a wonderful add-on. It's not high fidelity simulation of a Boeing 757, but it is a mid-level simulation of the 757, but it works flawlessly, and I hope I can provide you with a stream with that airplane soon. And yeah, that's why I'm sticking with Prepared, because I don't see the point in switching back to FSX right now, and I don't want to go through the hassle with FSX, installing all the add-ons for FSX as well. So basically, just to make things short, I am pretty content with waiting for PMDG to release its add-ons for Prepared. I expect that they will release the first add-on, which will probably be the 777 in the next half year, in the next 6 months. So I can wait for that. You know, I'm just having the Aerosoft Airbus right now, and I'm flying this one short haul and medium haul a lot. So yeah, that's okay for me. And for short haul, I can use the pretty awesome, majestic. So yeah, and I think that the simulator is superior to a lot superior to FSX. Yeah, Procopio, that's what I did as well. I switched to Prepared about half a year ago, and at first I started flying around with Prepared and flying the usual legs with FSX, but then soon I stick with Prepared, and you know, I don't want to go through the hassle switching between two simulators. So yeah, and I think that, you know, Prepared has so many advantages over FSX. It's they fixed a lot of bugs. It is more stable. They are working. Hey, listen to this. They are really working on a 64-bit version of Prepared. So I hope this will be available to us this year. I really hope so. But I don't know for sure yet. But this is pretty awesome news for us, because finally we will get a simulator that will be able to handle or able to work with all the new equipment we have, because that's the main problem right now. We have an old simulator that cannot take full advantage of our hardware that we're having. So yeah, that's the main reason. And there's something more I wanted to tell you. Yeah, concerning PMDG, they recently made a statement, I think in their official forums, that they are pretty angry about some people using the PMDG products in Prepared. All well, what can I say? Well, yeah, they're using, you know, you can use pretty much every add-on in Prepared, or at least you can try with the migration tool and all that stuff. You are that's no problem at all, but not all the add-ons work. But I know that the 747 works almost flawlessly with Prepared, and also the MD11 works almost flawlessly. But you know PMDG works very closely with Boeing, and there are a lot of license issues with Prepared, and so they're still in talks with Boeing concerning the licenses and all that stuff. So that's, I guess it's pretty difficult for them to work something out for you. And there are a lot of people that are using these add-ons in Prepared without the permission of PMDG, of course. So they're pretty angry about that, and they are saying, you guys are slowing down, you are slowing us down, because this makes it more difficult for us to talk with Boeing and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll see if that really slows the release of those add-ons for Prepared. I sincerely don't hope that it or I sincerely hope that it won't slow the release down. So we'll make a halt here just for a minute, and we're going to switch all the lights on. Strobe, wing light, and we are good to go. Take a thrust set. Rotates. Positive rate, gear up. So I'm going to fly this manually. ground spoilers disarmed, taxi light off, or nose gear light off, lever climb detent. Okay, now it's left, time for the left turn. We're going to fly to Innsbruck. It's going to be a short flight. And we are now overflying the city of Vienna. I hope you can see that here. The weather is pretty good, so we will be having a pretty good view on the city of Vienna. And I hope that I will be able to show you. Okay, flaps up. That's not directly over the city, but we will be able to see it through the right-hand side window. So, because I want to show you something concerning prepared. Standard. So I will be switching to autopilot right now because I want to show you Vienna. So let me take a look here through the right hand side window, first officer's window. Okay, here's the city of Vienna, beautifully stretching out below us. And the thing I want to show you here is that I pretty much cranked up the settings, the scenery settings of prepared. You can see the density, the autogen density is very, very high. I think I have it on dense. I think the scenery complexity is very dense, and the autogen and buildings density is dense. So that's, for me, you can see in my frames here, I'm running at 14 frames here. And I know that it doesn't seem a lot, but the feeling is pretty fluid, and for me it's the best cutoff between quality and between eye candy and flyability. And I also found out in my tests that there are a lot of very demanding cities out there, the most demanding being Paris. And another one which is very demanding is London. And you can really make your tests there and see what your simulator can do. So I had to find a trade-off between quality and between flyability, and on my new rig I'm pretty satisfied with the eye candy. So I didn't use any tweaks, no tweaks at all. I didn't use an external frame limiter. I didn't use a NVIDIA inspector yet. I'm just saying yet because I still have to find out what goes best, but I'm still in a testing or searching for the best settings phase. But I'm pretty content with everything right now. There is no micro stutter. I used to have micro stutter on my old rig, and I couldn't get rid of it no matter what I did. And so the experience for me is really, really fluid right now, and I'm very, very content with it. So that's pretty cool for me. Maybe we will have time today for another flight, which probably will take us into Orbex, Norway, just to show you that, because the weather today is better. So weather the last time was very bad, so I wasn't really able to show you a lot of Norway. Hope that will be better today. And but But I think the flight to Innsbruck is a very cool way of showing you prepared, of showing you my new rig and what it can do. So yeah, so we are almost done with our climb, almost. And yeah, concerning these the add-on, this is the Aerosoft Airbus. It's the newest version, of course, and it is an awesome add-on. It is awesome. I can really tell you that it's awesome. It is the best, by far the best Airbus package out there for short and medium haul. You have all the, if you buy all the stuff from Aerosoft, you will have the A318, A319, A320, A321, and you have a big offering of add-on liveries that you can download from the Aerosoft homepage. So I think there's something for everyone there. And you know, concerning everyday operation of an Airbus, of normal operation of an Airbus, in my opinion, this add-on covers almost all of it. I know there will be some flaws that maybe professional pilots will find when they are flying this bird, but for the normal user, it is it really is, compared to the first Airbus that Aerosoft made, the Airbus X. This is a huge leap forward, and you have so many cool functions in here. You have terrain on navigation display. You have a functioning weather radar, and you don't need active Skynex, just like in PMDG. So you have an almost perfect Airbus add-on for normal operations. And I know there will be a lot of you guys telling me, hey, wait for the Flight Sim Labs Airbus, and there's also the black box Airbus out there. And I absolutely agree. I am almost certain that there will be a more dedicated add-on for the Airbus with all the failure simulation, with all the normal and abnormal checklists you will be able to do. But hey, you don't know how far the Flight Sim Labs Airbus is still from release, so there's not much you're hearing from them. I know they are they're not very communicative concerning their newest developments, but I didn't hear a lot of them. I didn't see a lot of them in the last months. And you know, concerning the black box Airbus, I have it, but it has a more, I would say, experimental feel to it. So there are a lot of things that are still not perfect about the black box. And you know, concerning bugs and concerning update policy, the Aerosoft is so much ahead of the competition. I really think they are they absolutely did the right thing with this Airbus. And in my opinion, it's a must-have. It's a must-have for every flight simulation pilot out there, because you know, we waited such a long time for a good Airbus simulation, and there it is. You have it. And the price is also very good. I mean, imagine when you're having PMDG add-ons that cost about 60, 70 euros, and then you have the Airbus, the A319, which is A318, A319, which is 40 euros. Then you have a pretty good package. You get a pretty good value for the money. And if you purchase the Airbus bundle, then you're at, I think, 55 euros, and you have the whole A318 to up to A321 package. So we reach cruising altitude. There are some clouds ahead of us. You can also already see the top of descent here, which we will reach in, I don't know, maybe, let me check the flight plan here. It will be 9:43, so in 13 minutes we will reach top of descent. Well, the only advantage the black box Airbus right now has over the Airbus from Aerosoft is that they currently have a working A330 simulation. That's my opinion. And to be honest with you, the black box Airbus is a bit frame rate friendlier, I'd say. But of course, the black box Airbus doesn't have that eye candy that the Aerosoft Airbus has. I mean, if you take a look at the model here, they really did a great job. They have the right shape. This is an HD repaint by the way, and you can see the detail on the model is really more than beautiful. You can see the dirt stains here. You can see all the pitot tubes, and it's very very detailed. There are a lot of rivets and stuff here on the body of the airplane that is probably not simulated by. I don't know for sure, but you know, the black box model isn't that detailed. So you can see I have a precipitation. Precipit FX is the name of the add-on, so I now have more detailed contrails, and the reason why I bought this add-on is that I already said it in my Norway stream. The reason I bought this add-on is that the rain and snow effects in Prepared are they're just plain ugly. If you ask me, they are. I wouldn't have a problem with ugly, to be honest with you, but I have a problem when it affects my flying. The rain was so irritating for me. It gave the simulator such a choppy feel, and you had this. You know, I searched the forums a lot for solutions to this problem, and they did a pretty good comparison of this problem. They said it looks like the Millennium Falcon going to hyperspace, and that's the perfect comparison. That's a perfect explanation for Prepared rain effects. It's looking like, yeah, like you're going to hyperspace, and that's, for me, that was very irritating, so I got rid of that with the Precipit FX add-on. And if you're using FSX, the Precipit FX add-on is compatible with Prepared, but it's missing some of the features. They're working on that, but it's at the moment it is missing some features, and in FSX you have all the features with I think rain spray on wet runways when you're hitting reverse thrust, and some very pretty effects. So it's a very good add-on in my opinion. So I can really recommend that. It's a small add-on. I think it's about 15 euros, and if you have Prepared, go for it. You will have a much more beautiful rain and snow effect. So yeah, I would say go for it. Yeah, Procopio, I also spent a lot of money on the black box products. That's I think that's the problem with the black box add-ons. It's a beta, and you're spending like full price. You're giving them money for a full price add-on, and it's pretty much not functional. So, but you know, still I think it's not that bad, and I'm very curious about the 0.8 add-on for the A330. So I hope this will bring some new aspects to Airbus simulation in Prepared and FSX. But you're right, it's a lot of money. Talking about that, I think that something else comes into the discussion about this stuff, about, you know, all the Kickstarter campaigns and supporting developers that wouldn't have the money to provide us with their products by normal means, because they don't have a publisher or anything. So there's, for me, I think that we probably should support those developers more, I guess. I know that Black Box has some serious problems with communication, and but still I think that we should support such developers more, because, you know, the thing is, if you want to have a diverse, I would say a diverse add-on landscape, if you want to have those small add-ons, like niche add-ons that probably, I mean, a lot of add-on producers are going for the big airliners and the popular aircraft, so we still need some guys going for that niche, and by supporting those small developers we can diversify our add-on offerings. So I think that's important. I know that not everyone will be spending 50 euros for something that isn't finished yet, but still I think if you have the money and if you can spend it, support these guys, because we don't want to have an add-on landscape that is probably only offering Boeing 737s. Like, you have 5 different developers and they're all developing a Boeing 737, so hey, I mean, what's the point? If you want to have a good next generation Boeing, yeah, you're going for PMDG. I mean, what else will you go for? If you want to have a good classic Boeing 737 simulation, then the landscape becomes more diverse. There's Captain Sim, there's Milvis, I think also Quality Wings is bringing a classic series out. So as you can see there, we want to have more aircraft, and we want to have more people developing aircraft, because that, you know, that's also important for competition is important, because if there's only one guy developing a good Airbus 320 add-on, he can say, okay, I'm just charging you 70 euros for it because there's nothing else. And so we have a lot of, I think it's good for us. Yeah, Procopio, I totally agree with that. But that's, you know, that's the problem with such small development teams. I think there are about 3 or 4 guys developing the aircraft, and they had serious problems. I mean, if you have 3 or 4 guys working on a project and one guy becomes sick or he has a family emergency, then yeah, the project is on hold. You can see that even with Quality Wings, you can see that they just did a statement concerning the current state of their add-ons, and they said the 737 is pretty much on hold because we have 1 or 2 team members that have private issues. And they, of course, a lot of these add-on developers, they are not doing this full time. They are doing this in their free time. I mean, imagine that. I mean, imagine someone delivering such add-ons. I personally know that a lot of the Aerosoft Airbus developers, they did that in their spare time. I mean, imagine that, such a quality add-on done by people in their spare time. I mean, they have a lot of full-time developers, but they also have spare time developers, and even bands providing the expertise and working with them. So that's, I think it's if you look at PNDG, they're very successful. They can, I think a lot of people can live off the revenue of those add-ons, but there are a lot of developers out there that are struggling. And so basically, even if Blackbox is admittedly having problems with some of the communication, I still believe it's important to support them. Yeah, the quality wings of 787. I'm pretty curious about that one, because you know that's a very, very new airplane, and I always wonder where do they get their informations from. I mean, they have to have contacts to, I don't know, real world Boeing pilots or some of that stuff that provide them with the informations they need, because you know a lot of the system stuff concerning those airplanes is only accessible for people who really fly those planes, or people who do technical stuff on those planes. So yeah, it's so I'm pretty curious about the how should I say it, about the system depth of such an airplane. So right now we are passing Salzburg. Yeah, it's just right on the right hand side below us. You can see this is Salzburg, and we should be able to see the airport if I'm not mistaken. This is Salzburg VOR, somewhere out there. Take a good look at this. I think the airport is down there, I think. Don't know exactly, but yeah, it's down here. Or I might be mistaken. Wait a minute. Yeah, see it? It's down here. Salzburg Airport. What scenery do I use? I upgraded, actually with the new rig I did a little bit of upgrading my scenery, how should I put it, my scenery combination. I am using FS Global now as a mesh add-on. That's the, well, I would say that's the ground layer for my simulated world. And then there's FTX Global, there's FTX Vector, and there's FTX OpenLC Europe. So these are the add-ons that I use. I don't use, if you're asking me what I'm using for Austria right now. So yeah, that's what I use right now. And you know, I like the results. I also had I've taken a look at Austria Professional, but it didn't really yeah, I think there's a new version coming out, or they're planning or developing, but you don't see much progress there. So yeah, that's what I'm sticking with, basically. I really think that with Orbex Vector and FTX Global and OpenLC, you have such a good results that, in my opinion, the only thing that will make things better will be photorealistic scenery. But you know, with photorealistic scenery, it looks very good from like 4,000, 5,000 feet, but as soon as you're going lower, then it will, yeah, won't look that good anymore. So I'm not a big fan of photorealistic textures. Okay, so we've begun our descent. And the problem now is that I am not, to be 100% honest with you, I am not doing this approach very often. So I have to check on the charts if the localizer approach. So let me take a look here. This is distance 21. Will be 9,500. Oh, this is pretty much, yeah, this is pretty much it. Distance 09 will be 90. Yeah, this is it actually. This is pretty close to the charts, so I'm sticking with this. And I hope we will have a beautiful approach. I'm still having problems with landing the planes. I should practice a lot more, but I hope that this landing will be acceptable for you. And well, concerning speed, we will do a full flap landing. The QNH will be 10:27. The temperature currently is -02. 240 degrees 03 knots. Transition altitude is 7,000. And radio decision height will be 150. And approach speed will be 126 knots. And we're pretty much set for this approach. Yeah, the Airbus does stop at constraints, so no worries there. This is just the altitude that I am allowing him to descend, so you can already see the in valley here. And you see we are over. This is St. Johann in Tyrol. This is the airport of St. Johann. This is Kirchdorf, and I think somewhere around, or pretty much under our airplane now, is Kitzbühel, with the famous ski slope. So this is certainly a sight to look at. And you can see he updated the weather right now, so we're having to pass some clouds here. Good morning, Airbus. So we'll be doing the turn for Rattenberg right now. So he's turning right now into the in-valley. I'm sorry, it's not a VOR. Rattenberg, it's a NDB. I think concerning interesting approaches in the flight simulator and in the real world, I think that Innsbruck is one of the most interesting approaches you can do. And if you ever have the chance of flying into or from Innsbruck Airport, just do it, because it's great. It's a very small airport, and you don't have to be there 2 hours before departure. So it's a very relaxed, or I mean, that's depending on how relaxed an airport can be. But it's a small airport, and if you ever have the chance of going there, just go there. You will have a lot of windy days where you can see some really cool missed approaches, and yeah, that's pretty cool. So we are now descending into the in-valley. The altitude, Airbus is asking me here if I do have to altitude hold. I don't, because there's already everything set up in the FMC, or in the MCDU, I'm sorry. So I'm now switching on the lights. And I am now slowing down the airplane to 200 knots. I don't want to be too fast in this valley, because I want to have enough time to react on. I'm already going to dial in the Q and H, because I don't want to have the airplane do many corrections here. So flaps 1. So the altitude constraint here on Oscar Echo Victor 21 will be 9,500 feet. So I'm hoping that he will stick to this altitude constraint. You can see this is magenta altitude sign. This means that he's now flying with altitude constraints. Let's see if he does that. And you can see this is really a damn interesting approach, because you have the high mountains here, and you're going you're really going very close to these mountains, so this approach is absolutely breathtaking, if you ask me. So if you just do a YouTube search and search for Innsbruck approach, and you will have some very cool videos showing you. And you can see you are pretty much descending into this narrow valley. I'm now slowing down more to 180 knots. So Oscar Echo 19 will be still 9,500, and now he's continuing the descent. So I'm giving flaps 2 now. I'm arming the ground spoilers. I will be doing a manual braking. So the next constraint 17 is 8,700 feet. Which we're going to hit nicely. 14 will be 7,500 feet. Which is also working nicely now. And the next one is 90. That will be a 5,500 feet. And we are one for 7,500. Let's see. You can see constraint here 7,500, and he is really following this procedure exactly. So this is pretty cool. Okay, next constraint is 5,500 if I can read it correctly, which is also perfect. Going now for 160 knots. Flaps 3. Can already see the airport here. And our final approach speed will be 126 knots. Okay, I can see the airport now. Yeah, it's there. So I'm switching off the autopilot now. I am lowering the gear. Switching off the autopilot now. And I will be doing my turn to the left right now to get aligned with the runway, and I'm reducing my speed to the final approach speed now, and I'm going for flaps full. So ground spoilers are armed, gears down, free green, flaps are set, auto throttle is still active. That's how I want it. So the landing checklist is complete. So we are just lining up now with the runway now, and in case you're wondering, this is approaching Innsbruck of Aerosoft. It is not officially compatible with Prepared, but I installed it with the migration tool. and it works pretty good for me, so we will see how it will work. We are on our final approach speed now. Auto throttle.
2,500.
Okay. Auto throttle is now managing the speed. We're a little bit too low, so I'm reducing my descent rate now, and we are now trying to get aligned with the runway. You can see the auto throttle is perfectly managing my speed now, so that's really taking off a lot of workload for you. And you see I'm just trying to get aligned here, and we are on a good descent path here. I am preferring a low approach here because if you're too high you risk overshooting the runway, and in case you don't have a stable approach, just don't be hesitant to go around. But I think this approach is pretty stable right now, and I hope I will be able to show you a nice landing here in Innsbruck. So this is the city of Innsbruck right now we're passing, and it's a pretty good rendition of the city, as I know the city pretty well, so this is a pretty good rendition of it. So we have a good lineup with the runway, and we're a bit too high now, so I'm going to give more on the descent rate. And okay, this is the Hauptbahnhof just below us right now. You can see the Inn River,
1,000.
University. I'm going to stop talking right now to concentrate on the landing. So all right.
Approaching 2-6.
Yeah, we're not perfectly aligned, but it's okay. So, one hand on the throttle right now.
$500. $400. $300. 100 above. 200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Long landing. Long landing. 900 meters remaining. 600 meters remaining.
Okay, here we are. Gonna clean up the aircraft now.
On runway 26, flaps, flaps. On runway 08, flaps, flaps.
Alright, welcome to Innsbruck. Gonna start the APU now. Thank you. Yeah, it was a nice landing. Indeed it was. Very unusual for me. In case you know my other landings. Strobe off, wing off. In case you are flying the -8 from Majestic, this is the technical base of Austrian Airlines for the -8, and there are also a lot of other airlines coming to this place for doing their maintenance with the -8. So if you want to do some nice -8 flights, you can come here as much as you want, because this is a place where you will see a lot of -8s. This is our parking space. These numbers are for guiding your parking. So the right number is how you are, how far you are to the left and to the right, and the other number is how far you are from the parking, the parking spot, or the stop line. So it's for helping you. It's for helping you find the perfect place. But I found that it's very hard to find the right place. So yeah. Okay, so once again, welcome to Innsbruck. Hope you enjoyed the flight. I think it was the perfect weather. Yeah, that's ground services X. Ground services X. Yeah, it was the perfect weather for doing this flight. And I hope I will be seeing you on one of my other flights. I am really trying to do more live streams, more YouTube videos at the moment, but still I don't have that much time to do them. So hope you will stay with me and join me for my future flights. So maybe I will be doing another flight today. I don't know exactly, but I will let you know on my Facebook page. And of course, since this was a very beautiful flight, I will be uploading this video to my YouTube page for all of you to watch it. For all those of you that couldn't join me on this live stream. So have a nice day, and until we see us the next time, I wish you, as always, happy landings.